Morning, team. Good morning, everyone. We are back. We're back. Monday morning. Hope you all had a great weekend. Rested up. Did your planning. Read the newsletter. Saw the key levels. Have them all marked out. Make sure you come into the charts nice and fresh today. Lots happening overnight already. Lots happening overnight. So let's get into it. Daily chart. All right. What happened? Last week, we set our range, broke outside of the range, went and filled some imbalances and came towards the 20-day. All right, we have slight divergence in this. Remember, this is mean reversion down to here, because if we want to go over to the spiders, you'll see that they completed this move. All right, they completed the 20-day move. This is the common move we look for, and now we're gapping up and we're getting very close to those all-time highs already. So they're gunning for it. On a Monday morning, they're already gunning for it. So what are the opportunities here today? Well, we're bullish overall. It's important to remember we are bullish overall. It might be that what we've just done, we created the range, we've done a grind out, and there's a soft higher low there. That's a new higher low potentially. And it might be that we continue this to break out. The problem for us, unfortunately, is we're not swing traders. We're joining the market now. And we are not at an ideal location to buy, because if we go from last week's range, we're coming right into that 786. Now, that doesn't mean it's an automatic sell. It just means we're not in a great place to be buying right now. So we need to either wait for a breakout pullback, wait for a pullback, or wait for a failed breakout. And the areas we're going to see that in are, as always, in the hourly charts. All right, so we're going to go down to the hourly now and focus on this here. Now, you can see Friday's range and the previous week range. This is your previous week's range. Right now, we are recovering previous week value area high right here. So most of last week was spent in this. All right, you can see all the distribution levels down here. All right, and on Friday, we started to try and recover these, and overnight, we've pushed right back through them. We are trading, I should say, right at the edge of previous week's value. So if we hold previous week's value into 850s, right, there's potential, a little liquidity sweep here and a push higher, especially leaving this liquidity here at, I don't know, 920s, 910s, whatever this level is in here. That's where there will be a lot of short stops hanging out. All right, so this location here is key. If we fail to take that and we leave it and we pull back, maybe we do a little sweep here, we will probably come back for this level. A base over this will allow an extension. If we take this level and fail, if we push in here and fail and leave this supply strong, okay, if we just take this level and fail, then you're looking for some form of fail breakout and then probably a rotation, previous week value area high, and then obviously the main structure is back down here where we're a bit thinner, all right, where we're a bit thinner. So watching this move here if we fail up here. If we do a deeper drive down this morning without taking the liquidity, as long as we leave this low hanging fruit, if we do a deeper drive down, we can look for like a two leg down into here and a reversal and recovery up, and then our targets will of course be this sort of 915, let's call it 915 will be first level, and then into this little block here 980s, and then all-time highs. The only other option is if we go completely risk off, and if this is a forced move, because this is straight up. Remember, we're gapping up from, where was our gap? 724s. So, almost 200 points, just drifting higher in Asia and London. You can see it from here. Almost 200 points. No real pullback. A couple of small ones. If they want to just wash all these late buys out, they can come and attack previous day value area high. Remember, bulls today will want bids over previous day value area high if they're very strong over previous week. But as long as they bid over previous day, then what that means is we leave everyone from, it will be Thursday and Friday, every short seller from Thursday and Friday will remain trapped down there, and we can bid up off it. All right, so as long as buyers hold that 725s, they will really want to hold the 800s. We talked about this in the newsletter. This 800s is your key over under. We're over it, all right? They will want to hold it. If they do play like last week where they go under, back into, under, now over, maybe back into, they can afford a drift. Of course, 70 points in the NQ, or maybe not even that, down to previous day value area high is not very much, all right? They can afford a little drift under 800 and then a retap, a reclaim, and we can play long from here. All right, so that's what I'm watching for today. I'd love to be long. I'd love it to pull back without taking all the liquidity higher. Will it do that? No idea. We'll have to see what kind of games they want to play. All right, as we move into the lower time frames, it's important to understand why we're moving up here, which is really the mag, and most of it is NVIDIA. Like I said last week, NVIDIA will be key on what we do next. You can see all the levels up here if you need to copy them. So let's just have a quick look. ES, very much in the same kind of boat here. We just zoom out on the ES. All right, it's already taken the equivalent of the 915s, which is here on ES, right? It's already taken that low-hanging fruit. If it bases above, its target is quite clearly all-time high. So you have relative strength in the ES in terms of what it's taking out. Be aware of that. There is divergence still at play, unfortunately. VIX, let's have a quick look at the VIX before we do anything else. Move into a 5-minute and zoom out, and you'll see the VIX is starting to pull back from this trend here, starting to break down from yesterday or Friday's levels. This would be key, 16s, right? If it stays under 16, 1611s and keeps wanting to rotate down here, the market will go risk on. It just will go risk on. So just be aware of that. Put your levels in. All right, let's have a look at the mag. Apple still doing that move that I'm still waiting for. Remember, I'm still long in Apple from 202s. And this is quite clearly for me trying to build liquidity for this break, which will take us to 260, which will be our all-time high breakout. Apple looks good. Amazon, remember I started a long in Amazon last week. Those of you in Discord would have been made aware of it. All right, for me, Amazon has been one of the weaker ones. And I really want to get long under these pivots if it will let me. But if you think about where we've gone since March, all right, rest of the market broke out and is up here. Apple's lagging behind. Amazon's lagging behind. I'd love longs under here for reclaims. But Amazon looks good to me. It's had, been selling off a little bit, pulling back a bit more than anything else. So I've started a small long position, and it looks good to me for a recovery. All right, so anything over 220s, if 220s holds, I can add for that extension. If we start getting weak, obviously I won't be adding. I'll wait to see how we act at that next pivot, but it looks good for a push up. If we zoom out, it makes sense. Right now it's trying to do, think about how we built liquidity at the highs, big overextension down, and it feels like it's just trapped under here and maybe has this in it. So small position to start for me on Amazon. Goog, same kind of story. All right, it's been building out that base at the highs. This reminds me a bit of NVIDIA not long ago. All right, failed breakout, came under, reclaimed this range, potential move higher. It will need to reclaim 250s. All right, you can see that if this is basically midpoint in the range, 250s where we broke down from. As long as we reclaim 250s, Goog can have another attack at the highs. If they fail 250s, then this will be the first, I guess, on a higher time frame, lower high set to come and attack the lows. So 250, the key area. Meta also gapping up here. So all of the mag gapping up. All right, all of the mag gapping up. All right, Meta trying to gap up, and we have this big downtrend from the last few sessions. If it wants to really get going, you know where it wants to go. Microsoft also gapping up. All right, so we've got alignment so far in the mag. They're all gapping up. Can they hold and leave the gap open and attack supply? And NVIDIA, this is the key one. This is the key one, folks. All right, so last week was a bit whipsaw-y. Drove out, took previous day high, failed inside, traded inside the next day. All right, didn't expand this range. Now we're back up to that same key level where we failed from. It will want to drive out. All right, it will want to drive out. It needs to find a bid above 180s and just go screaming for these highs. That's what it needs to do. If you see NVIDIA pull back to PDC, you want to see if they can hold that level around 78.88 down to 177.50. It will need to find a bid there for that push to all-time highs. But so far, looking at the mag, they all look pretty good, I would say. Let's just have a quick look at the Russell and see how that's doing. That's very, very similar, and YM very, very similar. Okay, pretty good alignment here, folks. Pretty good alignment, I would say. So we just have to see if we're lucky enough to get that dip this morning that we'd like, and we can go from there. Zoom this in. Right, so the areas of interest for me are previous week value area high, and down here the start of, let's remove this liquidity level, down into this block, and previous day value area high. All right, if I'm lucky enough to get a sweep and a recovery, or a 2-leg anywhere into here that starts to base and recover, I will play long. All right, it's possible I'll play a short under here if it gives me a reason to. I don't really want to be buying high like we've talked about. Hopefully that makes sense for you all. Let's see what you're all saying in chat. Let's close this poll down if it will let me. Who have we got in here? Can I let me zoom up? Good morning, Ken, Jesse, Clint, Jeff, Aaron, Miguel, Peter. Thanks for rejoining, Peter. Muhan, Real, Trini, Brandon, Chris, DJ Noah, Coop, Bradley, InfoRisk, John Dennis, Ryan, Harish, Exister, Christy, Mike, Sergio, Charles, Silem, John W, Greg M, NRS, Leron, Teresa, Eva, Toby, The Daily Tale, Troy, Dawson Shores, Myron, Alan Bailey, and Marek. Good morning, everyone. Morning. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Where's my water bottle gone? All right, one thing we haven't talked about, I guess, how long we got? A couple minutes, is liquidity. Let's see where they're all hanging out. Okay, very clearly making it obvious they're up at those 24,925 right now. Let's have a look at ES. No, Bookmap doesn't want to play. Come on, there we go. And most of the liquidity higher on Bookmap as well. Okay, so starting to see that pullback, which is fantastic. It's what we want to see. Pulling back towards the view up, pulling back towards previous week value area high. Market coming here into some key levels. And we got the open coming very shortly, folks. 90 seconds, sorry. And we can see what's what. So we know what we're looking for today. You know the key levels. I've just got to change some of these on NinjaTrader. My RBS levels, need to flick them over. I need to design something that does this auto for me once we get above a level. But so far we've protected those sort of 915s in NQ. We traded straight through them on ES. So you have divergence there. But I'd like to see us come back for those. So I'd like to see dip opportunities today, ideally. If we go into a mega sell, if this is a big old squeeze and we go in a mega sell, obviously I'm not going to keep trying to buy a knife. We want to see structure come and play. So if not previous week value area high, then we want to see the old demand block or previous day value area high and a bid off that. All right. It is as simple as that. We can afford a very deep drive here. We've literally printed up non-stop since 11 o'clock on Friday. 11 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. Every hourly bar has been upside. And the only sort of slight pullback bar was 1 a.m. this morning, which funnily enough is above those 800s of that 825. We have a low volume shelf coming at 786 down to 750, all right, which is where that demand block is. There's low volume in here. So if they want a knife down to there and find a bid, they can, but buyers will want to protect that. All right, here's the open, folks. Here we go. I'll zoom this in. All of, well, a bit of a mixed bag in mag, actually. Apple pulling back a bit. Amazon's just gone red to green out the gate. Microsoft, 1/3% down. Let this shake out and settle down a minute. We can see what's what then. Make sure those in Discord have a look at the swings that I've talked about. Some of them are doing very nicely already. ES under its New York view up right now. Zoom in a bit here. But ES already took that liquidity. I'd like to play bullish today if it would give me the opportunity. If it would give me the opportunity. Most of the mag gone green now, other than Apple, which is lagging behind. ES is trying to see if it can find a bid in and around VWAP. SPY well under its VWAPs. Holding that previous week value area high there so far. Let's wait for some structures to be built out here. Holding VWAP, holding previous week value. They might want to bid up off this. One of those sellers has already pulled his order. Just letting this dance around a bit. Apple continuing to sell. Rest of the market look good right now. Q's finding a bid on that lower time frame algo. Spider's not holding on to that bid. So relative weakness in the spiders here at the open this morning after taking out that high pivot. Can this market find a bid is the question right now. Starting to attempt to find a bid. Watching this Globex level. ES now starting to find a bid. Apple starting to find a bid. So it's starting to build out that liquidity. I want to see like a bit of a right shoulder build out around here for that squeeze up if we're going to do it without a deeper pullback. We did come into one of the key levels we talked about. And the key will be a recovery here. Right, does it build out here to then just go for a slingshot up? Or do they need to do a second leg down first? Which would actually be more preferable, but it doesn't feel like it wants to do that at the moment. So watching for longs here. Watching very carefully because Spiders is still under its VWAP right now. So don't want to jump the gun here and watch it get the door slammed in its face, which is possibly what might happen. So nice and patient. Give you a readout on the market. Tesla 2% up, Nvidia 2.5% up, Microsoft 0.14% up, Meta 0.64% up, Google 0.30% up, Amazon 0.19% up, Apple 0.61% down. So Apple the weak one today, but it will just be building out liquidity for that attempt to go for the breakout. That's all Apple's doing. It's not worrying me at all. I need some dips and some of these swing plays to get involved. Right, SPY still under VWAP, ES over its VWAP. Remind myself what news we have today. 10 o'clock. Hammock speaking and pending home sales. That's all we've got. Bit of hesitation here as we build out liquidity. Not surprising given the size of the move that we did overnight. Market opening up. Well, we're 150 odd points higher at the moment. So not really surprising. Nvidia like pretty much straight upside right now. Gunning for those highs at 84s. ES is struggling. SPY's rejecting VWAP. ES is stuck around its New York VWAP. Nvidia's still pushing for highs here. So very, very different charts right now. And this might be the start of the squeeze if Nvidia is going to get going, but ES is going to make it very tricky. Can't get through its VWAP alignment, not quite there. ES weak, back into lower day. Market needs to breathe here a bit, I think, by the looks of it. We are holding VWAP. VIX doing down here? Trying to find a bid, is it? VIX sideways in range. SPY's into its gap. I mean, gap fill is a long way down, and it's into its gap right now. If it wants to go for gap fill, it can. Remember, we have squeezed up overnight. I'm not against playing that, but I'm not playing it up here, that's for sure. It's too risky. The easier move today should be higher if we can find a level to bid off. The harder move will be the counter trend pullback leg, which will be the short. That would be a much harder move. Nvidia again going for these highs. New low of day ES. So alignment out here, we've got divergence at play. Remember, we haven't taken out that liquidity at 9.15, 9.20 the same way that ES has. It's taken that liquidity and it's pulling back off it. ES now comfortably into its gap, and NQ looks like it wants to move higher. So we've got divergence. Can ES find a bid and just help NQ here build out this right shoulder to move back towards that 9.15s? That's the kind of move we'd like to see. There we go. So coming back to Globex, it's possible we're going to do it now, especially if ES can recover VWAP. That's what ES will be looking to do. Can it recover VWAP? Still lack of alignment. Oh, one day we'll have alignment in this market again. I don't know when. It's been a good 2 or 3 weeks now without it in the mornings. So yeah, stuck under both of its VWAPs. SPY stuck now underneath lower time frame algo, comfortably into its gap. Lack of structure here on the spiders. If it wants to fail, a gap fill or a retested previous day high will happen. If it can reclaim VWAP, then a squeeze is possible, and that will help the NQ move higher. I want to play longs here, but it's just making it very tricky. ES is not looking very good right now. But we've got liquidity higher. It's just whether they need to do a nasty little bear trap first, which is an ES just drifting into that gap. Looks really bad. Really bad to want to play long here on NQ. No structure here on the spiders as it pulls back. So let's measure out this gap. From here, I'm going to ignore that dark pool print. 50% on the spider will be 663.80 or 82. On the spider, 663.82. If it finds a bid there, that'll be a 50% pullback of its PDC into its pre-market high. Spiders are terrible. Unfortunately, folks, this is what happens. We gap up 200 points. They get the nice easy play in Asia and London based off, well, absolutely nothing as far as I can see other than a bit of structural squeeze. And ES takes the liquidity. NQ doesn't take the liquidity. NQ now stuck in range. ES coming back down towards that 50% pullback of its gap. So you don't get much more divergence than that. Unfortunately, we are where we are. Weakness coming here. Possible second leg coming. Can they squeeze, re-squeeze? That would be nice. If they could re-squeeze, it'd be very nice. Can you find a bid? Are we going to do anything of any interest today? What's our range right now? 44 points. We've literally done nothing. Oh my gosh, what a market. This ES and VWAP very clearly key. Like absolutely key. A lot of wicks up here. A lot of wicks up here now. Haven't retested this VWAP in New York Open since that open. ES new low of day. All right, so make sure you understand the divergence at play here. No trade yet. ES just trading lower. We're at lower day on ES. It's into its gap fill area. It's into that, drifting into that 50% of the gap fill. Very, very, very different charts right now. Q wants to move higher to take out that liquidity. ES needs to find a bid to help it. Otherwise, it's just not going to be able to do it. There we go. So it's trying to build out that right shoulder. It needs to get back through Globex and then through the 900s, and then we're just off to the races. But at the moment, it's you can see there's refresh selling up here, and it's not a lot of volume, and it's really struggling. Nvidia having another attack at that current high of day. Might be squeezing here. Here we go. Here's the retest of that Globex. Yes, back towards its VWAP, still not there yet. This wants to squeeze higher. It's just lagging behind. Here we go. All right, so small, long now. Here we go. Let's see if we can get through. Now we're through the Globex. Beautiful. Thank goodness for that we're getting moving. All right, fantastic. How much more juice we got? There's a nice shove up. We cleared out there, so you've got to take a partial here. If we get continuation, great. If we don't, it is what it is. We definitely took liquidity there. I can make this down, right? We swept the liquidity here. So now we've got both markets that have swept, so need to be aware of that. Low-hanging fruit's gone. If we can keep a bid here, it will be interesting as Nvidia comes to the top of its range. It's got another $1 or so to go. ES still not got through its VWAP, so that squeeze was nice there. About 20 points out of it. And now just waiting to see if we reset this for a new move higher, or if they're done now that they've both taken liquidity out. If they re-offer and protect 890s, potential move higher here. You need to see Apple find a bid. That will really help. Just trying to find a bid, Apple. Come on, market. Nice. Right, still holding a runner here. We're holding over Globex now, which is good. We want to see a squeeze through 915, 920 and a rebase above that. All right, and then we can look. We've got a bundle. Let me just zoom this out. We get a bit thicker here, 930 to 950. Nice. All right, how much continuation can we get here? ES now back above VWAP. Want to see ES now build and base and squeeze. So 930 to 950 is where we get thicker. All right, there will be some supply there. 930 to 950. Then we get thin up to sort of 977. Nice, nice, nice. All right, partial here into 30s in case they slam it. Looking for a squeeze now through this supply into 50s. And then if we can get to 70s would be great. See, they're struggling here at 30s. And we've got liquidity on the book at 25K. So if they want to get up there today, it'd be magnificent. ES now reclaiming and firming up over it. Exactly what we wanted to see. Must be taking partials here, folks. SPY is into its VWAP, waiting for the spiders to catch up and reclaim. Watching for pullbacks to hold now. Remember, we've swept the liquidity. We're into some level of volume here, 30 to 50. There is a volume shelf here. Again, stuck in this volume shelf for now. Nvidia near those highs. It's near the breakout point. So you're seeing some traders taking some partials in front of that on Nvidia, because every time it's come up here before, when it should have broken out, it hasn't. You now have your opening range set as well, folks. And so your opening range down at 17s, this white line. You orb traders, you want this now to turn into a base if you're looking for a continuation. All right, we've swept that liquidity. You'd want this to turn into some form of base. All the way down to here, it can afford a pullback. But if we're going to have continuation, you want to see this. You do not want to see a fail back inside here. Here we go, retesting these 30s again. Can we get through 30s, get to 50s and 70s? ES has got to take out this liquidity at 26.25. So that pullback of previous week value area high holding this morning like we talked about pre-market. We had to wait for it to build out this little right shoulder, and now we're trading upside. Beautiful. All right, into 40s. Can we extend 50s, 70s and above? Really nice. Make sure you paid yourself something here, folks. We do get thick in here. You can see it from a previous week's volume. We get a bit thicker in here. We stopped here for about 4 hours on Tuesday last week. All right, so there was a big push-pull here in from sort of 9 a.m. Tuesday to 1 o'clock. All right, so this was when we had that all-time high, and then we did the drop, base drop. This is your base. All right, we're trading into the base. If you're like, what is he on about? It's just basic market principles. Have a look at your higher time frame. Have a look right here. All right, this was the failure drop. This was the base drop. We're retrading into fresh supply. We've not traded into this before. It's the first time we've traded into it since we failed. All right, you can see quite clearly here. Previous week, value area high held. We talked about one of the levels I'd be interested in is if we hold that. We held it. We're trading upside. Like I said, bulls only today. I'd want to focus on bullish moves where possible. There might be counter trend shorts. I don't really want to focus on them. I want to focus on the bullish plays. Why has this changed? Get this back to blue. All right. Hopefully lots of you have caught some of this already. Nvidia failing that high for now. VIX still trading sideways. Mag all look good other than Apple. PayPal's running without me. Of course it is. I hate these swings. Annoying me. Need a sell day in some of these to get involved. All right. In towards these 50s then. If we get through here, we should really have the ability to get going. Sort of, what's the edge here? Yeah, 50. And then 80s. We'll bang on the door of 80s if we get through 50s. Pretty extended here, folks. Pretty extended here. Could do with a pullback. So don't be adding new positions here. You're either runners or you're cash right now. Do not want to be buying up here. You're asking for it into fresh supply. Right, yes, pulling back towards its VWAP. There's our VWAP. Oh, miles away. Let me make sure I get this on. Yeah, lots of you catching up with that. Nice. Jeff got it. 1-1 Music got it. Peter got it. And Malabi got it. Nice. All right, 50s here, folks. We need a pullback here for a little reset. ES has already pulled back to his VWAP. We could do with a pullback here. Nvidia is pulling back towards, well, maybe not a VWAP yet, but it looks like it wants to pull back towards VWAP. NQ just seems like in a hurry. It's the 50 test that we said. We're thick 30 to 50s. We could do with a pullback towards 30s. A little gut check and then move higher would be nice. If it wants to pull back to that RBS level, that's also fine, the 13s. Oh, Asia traders having a lot of fun today. All my days. Nice. John Dennis got it. Bradley got it. Charles got it. Nice early winners there. Go back, rewind what I said at the beginning. We talked about the areas of interest for this market to hold bids off. Previous week, value area high was one of them. All right, pulling back now. This is what we want to see. So New York ES now pulling back to its view ups, including New York view up. Nvidia pulling up back in front of that high of what's that high, like 84.35. So we got very close again. We are still looking for longs here. We want pullbacks. We want some form of bear traps, inverted head and shoulders to get long. Where would I be careful? If ES starts breaking down and creating a new low of day, then ES is potentially going to go on a gap fill, and that could really tug this market. So just be aware of the divergence at play, folks. We've got news at the top of the hour as well. Trini got it. Nice, Trini. Good work. ES coming to test where it found a bid from earlier. If ES fails here, this market might drag. We're coming back towards that RBS zone right now. Divergence at play. VIX trying to find a bid. Not through 16s yet on the VIX though. Tagging into flow zones, finding a bid. That might be the reload here. Let's see if ES joins. ES is trying to join. Can it reclaim view up and base above? How long have we got on a 5-minute bar? Just under 2 minutes left. These 50s going to be key, like we talked about. 30s to 50s is pretty thick in volume. You can see it in previous week's profile. We're pretty thick there. Squeeze through that. Edge of where we broke down from is basically 70s or 75. Somewhere into that is possible. This 5-minute bar to close on ES. Right, squeezing, still squeezing, so that might be it, like we talked about. Crazy. Didn't really gut check much, just tapped into flow zones, washed under 30 and instant reclaim. ES reclaiming view up as well. 40 seconds till we get a 5-minute bar close here. Looks very strong now on the NQ. Nvidia just doing a dance though, not up towards its all-time highs yet. It's not far away. Give you a little readout on the mag again. Tesla has pulled back a bit off those morning gains, 0.85% up. Nvidia almost 3% up. Microsoft 0.84% up. Meta 0.2% up. Google 1.75% up. Amazon 0.88% up. And the weaker one today, Apple 0.61% down. We want to test into here. This is where we broke down from. When we broke down after Monday's shelf that we created sideways, that is the edge of the shelf, that red block now. That's the next test. If it can get through 50s, that will be the next test into that block. What are you doing, ES? Why are you so sluggish today? You do not look good to me. You do not look good to me. Look at this on the ES. Potential bear flag on it if it breaks down on ES. So look, they look very different right now, which is always a bit of a concern. I just wonder if Nvidia needs a reload into VWAP. Tricky. Tricky in this 30 to 50 range where we got thick. Very tricky. Being patient here. I want to see if we can come and retest some of this. Trap some bears in here and then reclaim. If we get under here, I'm going to be very, very careful because it's potential that we trap bulls up here and go risk off for a gut check lower. As a reminder, we are 211 points up today. All right, it's a decent move overnight. Yes, trying to just keep absorbing VWAP here. Does it want to make that move? Does the market want to get in sync to move higher? Haven't really traded through any of this yet. We keep tapping up here and they keep reloading the sells into 50s or in front of 50s at the moment. Then we will get through there. It's just whether we need to trap more first. All right, we've basically gone straight up all night. We had a very slight dip into the New York Open, and since then we've pretty much gone straight up again. So market feels like it wants to move higher. Nvidia's struggling now a little bit at these highs. It might need to do that move to VWAP that I keep talking about. Kind of gone to sleep here again. This reminds me of last week when we do these moves and then we go into a 20-point range for ages. ES still absorbing VWAP. Every drift into there is being absorbed, but there's potential for a bear flag breakdown on ES. It's into its gap. It needs to recover. ES needs to find a bid above 64.75. All right, if you just look at the actual SPY, the cash ETF, you can see we've drifted into the gap underneath pre-market. It needs to recover those pre-market levels to initiate a squeeze. At the moment, it's a little bit in no man's land down here. It's trying to do it right now. It needs to get above and a close above this level. If it can't close above, I would be slightly concerned that we're just hanging out at pre-market lows with a big old gap fill below us with a lack of structure down there. You want to see it shove up. Getting a bit whippy here, folks. It's getting a bit whippy here on the book. We just cleared out these sellers. They just ran away. You can see it. Now maybe can we trade through these 50s? Nvidia's not found a bid yet. Apple's still selling. Divergence still at play. Need SPY to close high here on a 5-minute bar. Back to these 50s. Get above and close above these 50s. Get SPY to join in. SPY's trying to join in now, which is better. It's what we want to see back into the pre-market areas. And do we have any juice higher at this point? Cleared out those highs. How long left? The whole 4 minutes for a close above, and it's not doing it. So what I'm watching, so you can understand, if we come to the spiders, all right, this is the pre-market low. We know we've got spiders cleared out the key level already, and we've got a gap fill all the way, I don't know where it's gone, but it's not loading it, to here. Right, spiders need to reclaim this for a squeeze up. If we keep failing here in the spiders, this gap fill is going to become more and more tempting for those sellers. Right, which is why I'm watching it. There's your gap fill, the yellow line. And this is your pre-market low. They need to get a 5-minute close in here for this move, but they've already swept. The big problem is they've already swept out a lot of liquidity. If it keeps failing here, this gap fill becomes very, very easy because there's no liquidity in here. So one reason why I'm watching over there, because we keep finding weakness, and all the time that's happening, it's going to make it tricky to trade upside on the NQ contract. And you can see we're starting to fail. We tapped right into the start of the edge of where we broke down on Tuesday, and we're pulling back off it. So I said, cannot be buying high here. Our buys this morning were here, here. Maybe some of you reloaded there. I didn't. I'm waiting to see now if we hold here, or if we get under here, there's probably a short back down to here and here. I'm not going to trade the short today, I don't think. I'm going to focus on the longs because it's going to be the easier plays. Yeah, ES and SPY getting stuck. Nvidia's getting close to that VWAP pullback we talked about. All right, it's getting close to it on Nvidia. I'll show you what I'm looking at so you can understand. All right, if we zoom out, let's go to like a 15-minute chart. This is where Nvidia is trying to break out of. All right, this is the edge of range. It's like double top, equal highs. All right, that's what it's trying to break out of. At the moment, it's probably going to offer some form of pullback. VWAP's here, coming into VWAP, and a reload to go higher. So if it can't hold VWAP, it will gut check 80. All right, ideally you want it to hold VWAP. All right, does that make sense? So Nvidia, remember, is what's driving this market higher today. We want to see it hold here for this. If it fails under VWAP, it's going to gut check its open. By gut check, I just mean a back test, just a back test of a level. Just close this door. All right, SPY, very weak, cannot close over. It's back below its VWAPs now. It's looking more and more like a bear flag on the spiders. More and more like a bear flag on the spiders. VIX is at that 16s, right? It's trying to break out of the pre-market high. If it breaks 16s, it will check 1607s, but more likely PDL 1632s. I'll remind you, the move overnight was decent size. This can offer a big pullback if it wants. Structurally, we're very bullish. Make sure you're staying zoomed out. Right. We're very bullish, aren't we? Structurally, right, yes, this was a big squeeze, but since here, as long as we're holding this, I think we're longs. If we start fading underneath previous week value area high and getting stuck, then I think we can trap buyers up here, and there's probably a short back down for a check of 800s and 736s. All right, so if we get under value, there's probably a short if we leave buyers stuck up here. Until that point, it's very possible that we can continue this. We're not that far from all-time highs now, really. 100 points, it's not a lot. I think we'll get there. The question is, how do we get there? A bid. It's finding a bid in front of this level. Make sure I've got this at the right area there. Yeah, still finding a bid in front of it. Nvidia a little bit shy of VWAP. Found a bid in front of VWAP. SPY still not breaking down. NQ still looks good to move higher, but I would rather we do a second leg down at this point. Now that we have, well, we did just sweep this internal low. In fact, it's kind of annoying. Missed that. There's your sweep. That's probably your bear trap. I would have looked for this, ideally, ideal circumstance. Yeah, Nvidia finding a bid. Market finding a bid with it. SPY coming back into VWAP. This is going to be key now. This under over at VWAP with the spiders. Same thing all day. Do they squeeze through this or not? We've been under over numerous times today on ES on that VWAP. It is a big level. They will need to make a decision at some point. Looks like upside for now. I hope I had a good weekend. Yeah, I had a decent weekend. Watching Arsenal win in the last minute. That was very good. Enjoyed that thoroughly. I watched the golf all weekend. Close Sunday. Oh my gosh. Great effort from USA to come back like that. Great effort. And I sat by the pool for a bit. Got a bit of sun. Went out for dinner with some friends. It was nice. Really good. What did you all get up to? Anything fun? Right, ES reclaiming that V up again. It's just, ES is just in a dance here. I'd say the kind of range, basically trading 18s to 25. That's the range. You need to see it close above, like I talked about on the SPY. You want to see it close above that pre-market level, which it's got the ability to do. It's got another 2 minutes left on a 5-minute bar. But back and forth and back and forth and back and forth here. Check the liquidity out on ES. You want to see ES drive up into here, into these 750s. Big Gabby, yeah, Big Gabby. Absolute hero. Well, the Emirates Stadium, contorted, yeah, great stadium. Great stadium. Much louder now than it was, I don't know, when I was living there. We weren't playing such good football. All right, range isn't actually too bad. 111 points. It feels smaller because we did most of it early and now we're stuck. This feels like last week, doesn't it? We do these moves and then we just go sort of 20-point range for ages and then a fail break and then we go. All right, that's what it feels like to me anyway. Oh, geez. Here comes the news. News late or something? Waiting for that 10 o'clock candle. What is that swipe? Are we going to go then? Or is that just a short seller who's stuck? Yes, now, obviously, firmly above that level. You want all pullbacks to hold on ES now, above that level that it's been trading at all morning. Back and forth chop. Is that all you're going to do? Just like a push and then instantly fail? Come on, market. So you can see we traded right into the top of that supply. This is where we got stuck Monday. This is where we failed from Monday. That's why that red block's there. Is the bottom area of where we failed from Monday. We are gut checking all those sellers who have got their positions up there from Monday last week. Okay. This is the edge where we're trading into. This is the top side of the edge. All right. So Monday, we basically did this. And then we broke down. All right. So we're checking this side of it. If we get acceptance through here, we're going to check the top side. If we get through there, we're all-time highs. All right. This is all-time highs up here. Was there any news there, or was that just a short seller stuck? Priorities with the US and Arabia. Not really much. I think it's just a short seller stuck. Arsenal got lucky, mate. Every team this year's got lucky. Liverpool have got lucky every game this year, and they finally came unstuck against Palace, and they almost got unlucky there. Got lucky then. You know, like it's football. Yeah, Adam banned from chat, instantly gone. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, obviously. But honestly, it's been tough watching Liverpool this year, seeing them score score last minute winners like that. It's been tough. Okay, so we checked the top of that supply. We just see now that was a low hanging fruit into that area. If we get acceptance through that level, we are going to go to all-time highs. If we get acceptance through that level, we will go to all-time highs. So ES pulling back to where we just broke out from, that same pre-market level. You're basically looking at the 725s on ES, and on if you're trading the spiders, you're looking at sort of 664.60 around there. It needs to hold that area. If they hold bids here, we should keep extending this. Right, we're in a grindy market today. You can feel it. It's a grindy market. They're looking for that 25k right now, where they would like to take us. They want to get to the 25k. We've got guys on the book up there that they'd like to get to. It's just whether we can join in. NQ needs a big push here because Nvidia's now doing the VWAP check. So if this is it for NQ, if it's done here, it would not surprise me to see a deeper pullback. Right, Nvidia might be coming for that VWAP. Might well be coming for that VWAP here. It was a big swipe up. We've extended the range to 127 points now. Yes, failing that key level, coming back to its VWAP again. Gosh, the chop. While they make their mind up of what they want to do, the chop. Here comes Nvidia. No, that's not true at all, Peter. They're not owned by UAE owners. We're sponsored by Emirates, but we're definitely not owned by them. It's no different to the stadiums here, like the SoFi Stadium. You know, SoFi don't own it; they pay a fortune to sponsor it. All right, ES to view up. Oh, thank you. Yeah, there's some Saudi owners. Not the same thing as an Emirati. All right, guys? Just make sure you understand the difference. We're not all the same. Lebanon is not the same as Egypt. It's not the same as an Emirati. It's not the same as an Iraqi. It's not the same as an Iranian. That's like calling an American the same as a Canadian, the same as an Irishman, same as South African, because they look similar. They're not the same. Make sure you understand the difference. Otherwise, you're going to insult and upset a lot of people, including myself. Be careful. All right, ES trying to find a bid off VWAP here. Nvidia's VWAP is starting to flatten out here. It's still building this bull flag, but it's not actually pulled back and tested it yet. We are at that key level on ES. Market needs to make a decision. Apple is starting to find a bid while ES is pulling, while Nvidia is pulling back. So I'll give you a readout. You can see like they're juggling around here on the cues. Tesla 1.25% up, Nvidia 2.67% up, Meta 0.59% up, Microsoft 0.83% up, Google 1.59% up, Amazon just under a percent up, Apple closing the gap now 0.39% down. All right, it's trying to close its gap. It's trying to get back to its PDC. It wants to try and see if it can go red to green for a squeeze. We've done a big move here this morning, all right, or overnight and into this morning. It's a big move, 240 or 50 or points. That is probably a usual ATR for the day. Be aware of that. We hit 1% up on the day pretty much. Yeah, lots of stuff missed, Ryan. We can go over it together if you want. Yes, a new free indicator, or if you're using Ninja, it's 50 bucks for all guys in Discord. I will release it to the public in the next few weeks. Right, seeing that pullback, like I said, spiders not holding that level. Nvidia, I think, wants to check VWAP here, so I'm just waiting for that to happen. Right, we've had like 1 or 2 trades on the way up this morning. I'm just waiting now. Waiting. See what we get. Most eyes would be on the jobs numbers this week and NFP Friday. I think once we get through that, we're into a new month, final quarter, October, November, December. We can see what we get. I think we're going to potentially go into a sell-off at some point in October. Maybe we take the highs out first. I don't know. Maybe we don't. Maybe they just say, hey, this market doesn't need to breathe or pull back. 2% pullback, which is what we did. If you read the newsletter, 2.40% pullback is what we did last week. All right, if that's all it's going to do, it's all it's going to do. Seems odd given that we're 45% up from the lows on the year. We only pull back 2%. I would love to see a 10, 11% pullback. I think it would be helpful and healthy for this market, but the market at the moment is in a squeeze. I want to buy some panic. I'm not able to buy any panic. PayPal now 2.5% up. You mother effer. Just will not fill me since I talk about that. I need a red day this week to pick up all those swings. MVTS is what you absolute. Oh my god! I don't think I've ever been this frustrated with swing plays where I've called them, I've set my limit entries, and then they've just gone on an absolute tear for like 2 or 3 days instantly. So far, we've had ALB last week just went without me. RGTI went without me. NVTS went without me. IONQ went without me. IREN went without me. PYPL, I mean, it's not as bad, but it's gone without me. Lulu, I might still get into. Etsy, maybe will fill me later today, tomorrow. The only really, really good one this year where we've made 400% was Open. And Apple, I'm up nicely on as well. Bloody annoying. Alex, you must perform your ritual so we can... You want me to go to the bathroom is what you're saying, John. You and DJ, you just want me to go to the bathroom so this market moves. I know what you want. I'm not going to do it. I'm sitting right here. This market's going nowhere. Nowhere. Yeah, I see that. I see that. What's LAC doing? LAC? What's the leader? LAC? I want this to pull back, come into its gap. Fives to 4.5s. Yeah, it's the same. See, it's doing the same thing. Beautiful. I mean, this will run. HOND will run into next month or Q4. It has its SPAC merger, but we just don't know the date yet. But this is the only publicly traded company for this kind of stock, which is getting macro events based on Trump's legislation. So if something's going to go, even if it's going to go as a sympathy, it's going to go. All right, here's VWAP. Sorry, folks, I missed that. All right, NVIDIA to VWAP. We're into VWAP. We're into RBS. All right, these start to become some key levels here. ES trading back down towards low of day again. All right, are we going to find a bid here, or is this going to be a move all the way back down and gut check some of these lower areas? Remember, if we get under previous week value area low, I don't like it as much bullish. I think there's probably a short back down into here, and then we have to see if we base. If we're going to hold these RBS levels here off VWAP, then maybe we get going as a squeeze. Where's my NVIDIA? NVIDIA finding that bid off VWAP. This is what I was talking about. I felt like NVIDIA needed to come back down to this level. So can we build out some structure here? don't want to get too involved too early because we can head and shoulder and fail now. We've taken this liquidity. We've taken this liquidity. All right. We've done a little sweep down here. I need to see it do this. I do not want to see a breakdown here. If we get stuck under here, I think we probably come to this level here. If we get stuck into there, I'm not looking for longs. Here we go. Zoom this in a little bit for you. Got carried away looking at those swing plays, didn't I? Make sure you smash that like button for me, folks. There's over 125 of you watching who've not hit that like button. We get to 120 likes. We'll do an Apex giveaway, any size account. This is starting to squeeze now. Yes, back to that key level. Spider's back to that key level. It's got to make a decision. You'll be very careful that you don't head and shoulder this and absolutely flush it. Because SPY's been stuck here all day. Every attempt up here has got stuck. I want to see like some pretty big volume come in here, which we're starting to see at the lows, but I want to see it come in here, build some liquidity to go higher. It was a nice reversal off that opening range though. Opening range buys came in, VWAP buys came in, looking good here. Reclaiming VWAP flow zones. ES reclaiming the VWAP. SPY reclaiming the key level potentially here, which will be good. Just want a little build out of liquidity here if possible. And bull flag on Nvidia looks potentially good there on a 5-minute chart. A lot of faff today over small ranges. Remember, this is where we've had no acceptance above. Just remember that. We can actually draw some volume out now. We've been in decent time. I haven't been doing it at the opens because it's just been better to trade off the previous days and weeks. Let's see what we've got here right at that current point of control. All right, so protecting low volume. We look good for a squeeze. There was a slight hesitation there. You're not going to pull back any more than that. Seriously, that's going to be it, is it? You're going to be like, oh, okay, we'll go in. My name's NQ, and I go when I want, not when you want. Are you going to offer anything here, NQ? Yes, back to that dreaded level, that pre-market level. Can it find acceptance higher? Can see on the tape, we've got liquidity high. It wants to get that 25K. It wants the new all-time high. I'm telling you, it wants it. Nvidia going to do this bull flag here by the looks of it. It's testing the top of its range now. If it breaks out of this, it should go to current day highs and then rip some faces for an all-time high on Nvidia. That will help us get going. This is the edge of the range here on Nvidia. Come on. Let me in. Let me in. All right, here we go. Come back down. Come back down a bit more than that. I want to see a check of 50s if possible. No. Come back down a bit more. You've got balances to fill down here. Come back down. It's the edge 40s. Like to see if it's going to get very bullish. It's ideally something like this. At the moment, it just doesn't want to do it. That sweep down here was enough. I got too focused on my swing trades and I've missed it. Oh, PayPal now 3% up. You are just going to piss me off. I'm going to have to take you off my watch list in a minute. IREN almost 7% up. MBTS 11%. Oh my God. Just don't look there, Alex. It's depressing. Looking over here right now at your watch list is upsetting. All right, SPY and ES are at that same level, all right, the same level, sort of the 25 to 28 level is key. Absolutely key. VIX trading back down towards a lower day right now in the New York session. Can we find a bid here? Can we flush down and find a bid to move higher? Nvidia not breaking out of that range yet. It's trying to build that bull flag to break out, in my opinion, on Nvidia. That's what it wants to do. Are you going to pull back and do that little shoulder for me? You've done one little wick down to 58. Is that what you're going to give? No real liquidity below. Protecting this low volume node here at 58s right now. This might just be it. If it's not going to flush down and give me an entry, this might just build the right shoulder quite high here. Nvidia trying to do it. It's trying to do a bull flag. I want a little wash and an entry. That 665 on SPY must be a massive options level or something. That's just really struggling to get a push and base above it. Cannot get a base above it. Here goes Nvidia back to this top side of its current range. It just needs one big breakout candle here, and it will go for a higher high on the day, and that should take you to all-time highs on Nvidia, and that might drag the market up. So we're trying to do the same thing. This is the right shoulder. I would have preferred it deeper because, you know, I'm cheap like that. But we're trying to do that right shoulder here quite clearly. I don't even mind a second leg down here. Would be kind of nice if they trap something like this. Would be really nice. Take out this, and then we can gun for this. Maybe this is the edge. This is Monday, right? Monday. This is the edge of Monday. This is where all buyers are trapped right now in here. So we don't want to be buying up here. If we're going to trade into that, we want cheap buys if possible. If it fails and we can't play it. Come on, folks, smash that like button, please. Doesn't cost you anything, and then I can give away a free account to you. You guys didn't do it on Monday, on Friday, so we're going to do it today on Monday. 120 likes. Those of you watching who have not hit it, just smash it. We'll get there instantly, and then we can do a nice giveaway. These are the 50s being checked. Spy, what are you doing, man? What are you doing, spiders? Right. Initial balance now set. SPY looks terrible. It's sort of right in the middle of its initial balance. We're trading towards the top side, all right? Our IB lows here, IB highs here. We're trading towards the top side. Spiders do not look good like that, all right? They do not look good like we do. VIX just in a range as well. So traded off the bottom side of its New York open range, trading back to the middle. Terrible. Maybe we do that deeper move. I do not like the look of the SPY right now. It needs to find a bid soon. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for me to buy down here on NQ. I'm going to lose interest in this right shoulder if SPY can't find a bid soon. Same on Nvidia. Right, tell you what, I'm going to go to the bathroom and then maybe you guys get your play then. Fingers crossed for you. Did it work? No. Boo. Boo. All right, back into POC. All right, so maybe they try and bid off this. This is kind of what we wanted to see. It's not moved yet. What's the time? 30 minutes left to a new hourly bar. Look at this. An hour. 4 hour. Just all trading inside a whole bunch of range. A 5. What's that liquidity level there? Did we sweep that? I took it by a tick. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting on the hourly what we've done here. So we swept this level by a tick. So you can see here on Monday, this was the edge. We broke down, we retested it. We did all this stuff all last week and we've come up and we've taken this level out by a tick. And now we're just stuck. We haven't reset down here yet to find a bid. And we haven't pulled back deeper and trapped shorts under there yet to find a bid. So we're lacking liquidity to move higher at the moment. That's the bigger problem. We haven't got enough shorts stuck in this. Right, shorts were stuck in it Friday. We make sure I'm on the right chart for you. Am I on the right chart? Yes. Right, shorts were stuck in it Friday. Friday afternoon, those in Discord, we were bidding off these, right, looking to take out these highs. And then all these swing shorts who took a swing short Friday, they're now out the money and in pain, and we've taken them all out. So we need to build probably more shorts into this market if we're going to move higher at this point. And that's why we're struggling to really get going, I'd say. Taking one for the team, yeah. Well, I tried. No, it's not worked, has it? It's not worked. Right, almost there, folks. 30 more likes and we can do a giveaway. Market slowed down here. We've had some early morning trades, more than I thought we were going to get, to be honest, this morning. When I woke up and came to the screen and we were gapping up that much, I thought, oh, we're not going to do anything today. I think the news events, the big news events this week will be the driver. Friday's going to be huge. That NFP will be massive. Ian, you like it right now? What, for longs? I mean, it's not bad. It's just I'm not seeing what I want to see on my screens over here. That's the bigger problem right now. I don't dislike it. It's definitely structurally it's long, but I'd say, you know, they tried to get the breakout of the highs, they didn't get it. They're trying to build out here to do it. They haven't done it. So far, they're just moving down. So I'm not going to bid on this. And spiders looks weak. It keeps rejecting that same level. All right, this is the main problem for me right now is the breadth, basically. If you look at the SPY, remember we talked about this pre-market level. It needs to hold above this and base above it. At the moment, it's trading below, above, below, above. I want to see it base out here for this move. That will give me more confidence. Same with Nvidia. If we have a look at Nvidia, because this is dragging the market today, as in dragging it up, right? We want to see Nvidia start to build out this and start to get acceptance and get above this all-time high, all right? Pretty sure that's all-time high. It's the edge of range, right? Yeah. Right, needs to get above these levels. 84s, 50s. So that's the move. And if Nvidia can't do that, it will be thin. Under here, it needs to trap under there. If it can't do that, it comes and reprices the whole thing. NQ will roll over with it. So that's why I'm waiting right now. We've had 3 attempts here. It's not a good look. All right, I'd say wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. It's a bit of a quasi. I'd be somewhat cautious here. That's why I'm not bidding on this. I'm not seeing what I want. I want to see it like the revival. I want a higher low. All right, this needs to recover this sort of area here. Then I'm interested. Not right now. I'm not interested. Same as here. We didn't get the structure I wanted. Remember here, I was like, okay, this could work if we build out some structure. We didn't. We just went straight upside. So it didn't give me my entry. Oh, sorry, Ian. I've just read that. sorry, buddy. Well, welcome. Yeah, here every day, Monday to Friday. We're always looking for the same setups, right? We're trying to trade the pro trend to the low-hanging fruit. One of the big things today is we've taken a lot of low-hanging fruit out. So, you know, does it want to be more of a trappy day? Do we need a deeper wash to get bears involved, which would mean there's a counter trend pullback coming? Possibly. It's definitely possible. We haven't really tested any of the higher time frame levels down here since we reclaimed it at the open. All right, we're defending it for now. Current value area low on the day is basically defending this, which is an RBS level. Why is it an RBS level? Because it's what we broke out of here, and way, way, way back, which I can't even get to. But basically, it's the same high that we put in Wednesday last week. All right, so we're defending previous week's value right now, which is down here. Right, so we've got an RBS and previous week value. All the time we're defending that, we're kind of looking bullish. Once we get acceptance into previous week's value, then it's possibly a more of a bearish rotational move, because it means we're getting lack of acceptance above the previous week's range. But for now, we're finding acceptance there. All right, Nvidia maybe pulling back to view up again, not seeing the breakout. SPY and ES are stuck at that level, folks, at pre-market level. On the cash, on the ETFs, we're stuck at. We are stuck at. I wanted to get long oil, so I wonder. Right into the mid. I think energy is getting ready for a bit of a goer. What's the 10-year doing today? I had a look actually. 5-year, 10-year. Where are we trading at? Oh, failed it. Well, it's a good sign for the market. That is a good sign for the market, I must say. Didn't trade through this where I've got that crossing level. All right, folks. Same thing. We're just waiting for the same things here. We've got to let it build out. You notice I'm not like trying to click buttons or take a trade here. The liquidity needs to be built out. I'm not convinced there's enough shorts trapped in this at the moment to go higher. It's not showing signs of it. We've got diminishing volume. All right, we had an attempt here. The biggest volume on the day right here was what? Was the clear out into Monday's level. All right, we've never traded more volume than that, and we've not traded above that. So right now, any buyer who bought up there is stuck. Can we trade higher? Absolutely. There's possibility of trading higher. We're going to need bears stuck. We are going to need bears stuck to trade higher. ES is trying to find a bid. Desperate to find a bid here. Oh, PayPal almost 4% up. Every time I look, it's almost another whole percent up. Are you kidding me? Oh, Coop, please tell me you bought that at the open. Please, guys in Discord, someone tell me that they bought that at the open. You would be up as a whole today if you bought the 3 swing plays I gave you last night, almost 5% on your portfolio today. Yeah, same as me, Coop. Limit out there and didn't get filled. Yeah, it's so... God! I was so annoyed. All right, here goes spiders. Spiders looking a bit better here, starting to show some sign of strength. At to the top of this range. 665. That's clearly a level. 665 is probably an options level. What's that trading at on SPX? I don't know, but it's probably around there. All right, spiders are starting to get going here. They're starting to get going. Is NQ now going to go the other way and just be a real pain and show no strength? You're going to show weakness now, NQ. You've had all day to move up, and are you now going to do the opposite of the spiders? That would be hilarious. Yeah, not trading through the 665. They keep testing. Can the spiders get through 665? And then put a squeeze on. And then can you're looking at NQ 970, 990 are on the book. Right? 970, 990 are on the book. 25's on the book. 25,000 025 also on the book. 25,000 050 on the book. So just the whole numbers. 75's on the book. So they're just trading the whole numbers at the moment above for extensions. Do we build out this right shoulder now? It's starting to look a bit better now. I want to see some volume step in. I want a low volume pullback. And I want to see volume step in for a clean break and a push through all of this now. Here come the buyers. Come on, watching the tape here. Got to get through these 55s and 60s. The refresh seller here. They got to get through him. If they can't get through him, they're going to be in trouble. No, you can't get through a 47 lot. Are you joking? Can they reclaim 50s to get up to 55s here? If not, problems. SPY has a possibility to base above that key level for maybe the first time today. The 5-minute closed above, so as long as pullbacks hold 64.80s, 664.88, which on ES is basically 6727.50s. You want to see that hold. All right, if they hold that, they can trigger a squeeze on the next break above. If they can't hold that, then we just go back into the death chop range again. Nvidia's trying to find a bid. Its candles are getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter here on Nvidia. So I want to see volume step in here and a break above 56s, 61s, 69s, 75s, and then searching all the way up here if it really wants to get going. Here we go. So right shoulder being built out now. We need to see follow through at this point. We need to see follow through at this point. Here's the 55s. We want to trade straight through 70s at this point. Don't want to faff anymore. Got to get through 70s now. Here we go, folks. So let's see if we can get going here. Boom. Lovely. Let's get through 60s, trade up to 70s. Nvidia getting going now as well. Everything starting to time in. So waiting for that right shoulder to be built. You can see what we built. We talked about it. We want to see a higher low. We want to see low volume here. And we want to see high volume on this. And we're starting to see it, folks. Brilliant. Can we get a continuation higher now? Need to trade through that 61 wick. Seller on the tape at 70. I want to go and fill that seller at 70 and then see what's what. Do not want to see weakness in front of initial balance here on the ES. Do not want to see weakness in front of the initial balance. Want to get out of this range. I'd like to see VIX get acceptance under low of day. So it's traded back down to 1580s. Want to see it get acceptance under it. Come on, market. One more shove. Uno mas shovo. Topo. Come on, market. One more shovo. Let's do it. You can do it. You can do it. ES keeps getting stuffed up there in front of his initial balance. The 730s. Just want to see one more big swipe. Take out all the liquidity. VIX trading lower day. Come on, Nvidia. Why don't you help me out as well? You go. All of you go at once. One big swipe. Don't get stuffed here. Do not get stuffed here. It will be a problem if they get stuffed here. There's that swing point 45s, lower time frame. Come on, ES. Don't do this. Go and take out the highs. You've faffed all day. You've got the juice. Right, Nvidia getting close to those 84s. We need an 84 break on Nvidia. Here we go. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come to Papa. Come to Papa. Got to get through this high volume candle here. This candle here. 59.50. Traded a lot into that. Is it 50 or is it 60? What is it? 60. This candle here, 60. Got to break 60. If they can't break 60, they're in trouble. You got to break this. Need that. Any failure under here, not touching at all. Not touching at all. If it cannot hold, really you want to see it hold this. If it can't hold this, it means market's going to roll. Come on, get through 60s. Just one big swipe. One big swipe. Here's the 60 test. Come on. I feel like I'm on repeat at the moment with NQ, and it just tightens up and tightens up and tightens up like this. Fail, 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 fail. We'll do one more trap and then go. So frustrating that it can't just do the push when it needs to. All that liquidity we left at 60. Tons of it. Nvidia not getting through. ES is really going to make life hard here today. Right, pulling back to that sort of 25 level again. If it can't hold that, this whole thing fails because it had just had a shot to get through high of day and initial balance. It's trading back to that same level, that pre-market level. It needs to hold that. If it can't hold it, I will not trade NQ any higher today because I'll just think, well, they've pinned this in for some reason. Whatever reason, I don't know. But if they want to pin it here, that's why. Or that's how. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Need the bathroom trap, yeah. The Alex bathroom trap. All right, 20 likes away here, folks. There's 181 of you watching, right? 20 of you who haven't hit that like button, or at least 80 of you haven't hit the like button. Just smash it now, and we'll be able to do an Apex giveaway. All right, 120 likes, and then we can give away any size Apex account you want completely for free. It's not that hard. Sub to the channel, hit the like button, join me every day. Doesn't cost you anything. It's getting tight here. I do not like what I'm seeing here. We need to see this breakout. This is getting very tight. This is becoming more and more ugly by the second. If they don't get follow through here, I'll probably take this position off. Come on. We need follow through 60. It's that simple. Through 60, we need follow through. We want volume to come in through 60. Here we go. Tempting 60 again. We know this is the edge of Monday, all right? So this is what I'm talking about. If we can get acceptance, above here, then we're going to trade potentially up to all-time high, which is Monday's high. But we're going to have to trade through here. We're long, looking for this, looking for a trade through here, here, and then runners through this. If it can't do it, I'm just going to have to take it off, which would be annoying. Not looking good here. This level on Nvidia. Nvidia has to hold 83.40s. That's the breakout point where it's pulling back to. It's where supply was this morning, where it broke out above. It's pulling back to it. It has to hold it. Failing to hold that, whole thing will fail. It would trade back to VWAP, and then NQ will fail with it. ES just a piece of shit right now. Sorry, pardon my French, but it is. That is terrible chart on ES, pulling right back to that pre-market level. Awful. Awful, 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 awful. And be careful, because ES can build a giant bear flag. If they trap all the buyers up here and we don't get follow through, ES can really puke. The internal sweep here of 45s. Low 35 would be a no-go for me. I'd have to wait for another recovery. ES has ruined this play. What a pain. Divergence ruining the play right now. What a pain. So maybe just a range day on ES, unless it gets acceptance under IBL. Back to VWAP on ES. That's how weak we are. Back to VWAP on the ES. Nvidia failed higher day. So Nvidia now, for how long we've been doing this range now, Nvidia? Oh my days. So Nvidia has been stuck here since July. All right, this failed breakout since July. How many attempts of this top side it has? 1, 2. This is on a daily. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the 11th attempt, basically, to break out of these highs up here. It's poor. It needs to get through it, and if it can't do it, market's going to get stuck. ES is so bad here, folks. So this is becoming a no trade day for me at the moment now. Taking this off, can already reload if it offers something, but the weakness in ES is going to make this very, very hard now. So we move over. You want to see what I'm talking about? Same level. This pivot, this over-under pivot. Over-under pivot. Can't take out this liquidity here. Failed. Under, 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 over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. Base has the ability. Fails. Back to the same level. Fails here. Come right down here if it fails here. It's ugly. It's really ugly. Here you go. See, they just trapped everyone. So it's a shame. It's a shame ES had no follow through. And here we go. So the selling's starting now. All because they couldn't get through those key levels. What a shame. Back to VWAP here. And if ES breaks down here, it has got a giant bear flag. And if it wants to come for low of day, it's very, very possible right now. We are still above all RBS levels and we're trading into value area low on the session. So NQ looks much, much stronger. But if ES starts to sell aggressively, then we might be in trouble here. The session might roll over back into the range, which I don't want to touch until we get beneath previous week value area high. Be more interested down there at that point. What are we doing down here? Let's have a look. 24,900s. It's a little far away, isn't it? Yeah, straight selling here. Straight selling ES here. NQ, relative strength. Around its value area low on the session. Relative strength in the NQ. This is some of the big divergence that we've had the last few weeks. You're starting to see the same thing play out again. How many days are we going to have this for? A lot, I think. A lot of days at the moment, unfortunately. Until we get some alignment with mag and breadth. Seriously, you're going to do an internal sweep to come back for that same play that we were looking for? No, don't do that. It's going to make me very upset. Watching sort of 35 to 40 here. They reclaim that, they're going to go back for the high again. Nvidia's found a bid in front of you. Of course it has. Oh my gosh, this is wild. They're bidding off range right now. So we're just in value on this day. D-shaped profile, well, technically P-shaped because we're gapping up. But here's your value. And this is the rotation. Under here, we come and test down here. Hold this, we probably go back to POC. ES looks really terrible by comparison. It looks like it wants to break down. Very, very, very different. Right to that edge of value. You can see all the bids down here on the tape. They're all just stacked down here looking to get filled to bid it back up. That's crazy. Sweeping this. This now becomes key. They fail this, they come for this. If they reclaim this, they're going to go back for the POC and back for these, which they left. The leaving of liquidity is really dirty. So building out that internal range. It's kind of nuts on the book that we left that high of 60 or 61 and we've done an internal sweep and now we're leaving these lows of 17 and we're leaving all these guys on the book unfilled. It's actually kind of nuts how they're doing this at the moment. Wouldn't surprise me to see new all-time highs coming if they reclaim 35s here, 35s and 40s. If they fail 35s and 40s, we should go and clean up the lower side of this range because we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to move higher and failed. And the comparison of the book is crazy. It looks very, very, very different. The divergence here. ES looks very, very weak. Looks like it. I know we're at the bottom side of a channel, but any breakdown looks like it's going to retest initial balance low on ES. Whereas NQ looks like it's just trapped bears underneath that 35 pivot for now if it reclaims, which it's trying to do now. And Nvidia's now found a bid in front of VWAP and going back to IB high. So like the divergence is absolutely huge. It might not look big, but when you understand how the tape's trading completely differently, it's massive. The divergence is massive right now. They're trading very, very, very differently. So here we go, 35 to 40, like I talked about. This is the range. They reclaim this, then they just trap everyone underneath. They reclaim this, then they've just trapped everyone underneath again. Don't know how I feel about it now. Don't like the weakness up here. This can be the bear trap if that's the second leg. Don't know how I feel about playing long again above this now. It feels very iffy given how ES looks like it wants to just come all the way down here at the moment. Tech holding the market up. I want to play long, but I've lost confidence in it. And the spiders are back underneath that pre-market level. That's like the biggest problem right now, I'd say. The spiders are under that pre-market level we talked about all day. So back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And the volume's just dissipated after that sell. Oh, how many points we got to play for in this range? 40 points, that's it. Oh my God, it's disgusting. If they're going to do a range rotation day on 40 points, that is god awful. What can we play for here? I don't know. Answers on a postcard. I don't think they know what they want to do. Feels squeezy at this point. Back to POC maybe. 22s. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I have no confidence. The main reason is this. This looks very dangerous to me. This looks like it wants to break down. That's a strong sell. This looks like it wants to break down. Making me feel very iffy about any more long attempts on NQ. Yeah, don't blame me, Peter. Lack of follow through today again. What's up, Scotty? Right, we're stuck at this shelf here. POC's now moved down. We trade on now moved up again. We're trading so much volume around this level. This is key. They can't make their mind up. They're trading so much volume here. What trades did we get? We got long this morning. Trying to remember. I think we were long through here and here, and then we tempted here and failed. So that was a loss, and this was a win, and this was a win. And now just sat. Off the road. Oh, nice. Welcome back, dude. Welcome home. Look at Nvidia, just stuck. I don't know. I feel like market wants to break down. It's just going to be very, very hard to trade it. And I don't want to force it against the value area here. Back to VWAP we go. Lots of liquidity underneath at the moment. It wants to fill, like I talked about. And they left it all, which is kind of disgusting. Do you know if there's a way of locking a VWAP on Ninja? That's what they need to develop, a way of locking an anchored VWAP so that it doesn't keep changing during the day. Is there a way of doing that? Locked. There we go. That's better. All right, so not sweeping these levels underneath, no man's land. It's the same level for SPY we've been at all day. It's an under, over, under, over, under, over. Like I said, I'm not convinced either way at this point. I think the alignment's gone in the session. How long we got left? 50 minutes left. Oh, we have got enough likes though, so we will do a giveaway. Yeah, exactly, Simon. Like the range rotation play is there based on the range, but it looks very dangerous to me. It looks very dangerous to me that we failed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. We've tried to pivot to go back higher. It would be a cheap long on this session, but like, where are you risking off? But I know what you mean. Here we go. Back to value area low on the session. You can see all these buyers on the tape under here looking to get filled. There is a ton of them. Feels like it might get heavy here to me. Here we go. Do they come and clean all this liquidity out now? Back towards this RBS level. This is value area low on the session. Stops will be down here at 917s. We've got buys all the way down to 900s. We know this is a cheap buy on the session, but not when we zoom out higher time frame. Feels like they're going to get cleaned out now. This is what I was talking about. Oh, yes, looks like it wants a low of day to me. It's in that range rotation. Nvidia still above VWAP. Mag still all good. Yeah, definitely, Ken. Yeah, it's while I don't know if you read the newsletter, but until we get the multi-time frame alignment, at the moment, the thing is, we hit lots of low-hanging fruits. They're going to need more intraday shorts trapped in if they're going to go higher. We've had a big move. I keep saying today, remember, the move isn't what we've had here. It's what we've had here. This is the move. This is the daily bar right now. Right, we had a big move. If they get under here, there's either a failed breakout and a trade up, or this is where we close that gap, because this is all resting liquidity. So I'm aware of that, but I just don't know how we're going to trade it right now, given that this range is 40 points. We will start expanding this range now. Here's the sells, bigger sells then coming in now. Nvidia failing VWAP for the first time today, folks. Nvidia failing VWAP for the first time today. I think ES wants that low of day like I talked about. It's one thing to be very aware of. There's the trade underneath opening range being absorbed so far. Into the RBS zone. All right, this is the RBS zone. So they might bid off this. If they reclaim value area low and start squeezing, they might bid off it. I still don't like ES though. The divergence is still pretty big. Still pretty big. So we've cleaned up this liquidity here. This is the RBS zone that we're bidding off so far. The divergence for me is still too big to be thinking about this. We're in a sell intraday now. All right, we've traded failed top side of the range, stopped out here. This was a potential sell. We had the signal here. I didn't like it. I just felt a little too risky as we traded into here. But now we're starting to see Nvidia drift to VWAP. Nvidia now finding a bid off VWAP at the same point we've traded into RBS. If we reclaim value, we can trade back higher. If we keep rejecting value, then there's a trade back down to where? Here, and then these levels down here. Market starting to roll. You can see it had numerous attempts at those highs, failed. So this is why you just have to be risk off at that point and wait. And we just wait now. We just wait. It's all we can do. Big selling coming in. Here goes the ES to that lower day we just talked about. All right, there's the initial balance low taken on ES. We literally been saying that for the last 5-10 minutes. Felt like it was going to do it. How we react now will be key. All right, are we going to go in a rotation where they do a fail breakout of that low of day? We're back to Globex here now, and we're back to the 24-hour VWAP here now. And there's plenty of room to trade all the way back down towards low of day if we want. Especially if ES gets expansion underneath it right now. VIX finding a bid here as well, by the way, folks. It's at 16. So looking for that breakout on VIX above 16.05s for continuation short confirmation on ES. Nice, Ken. Yeah, this short here, once it's signaled, pull back to flow zones. We never reclaimed the 40s. We traded into it, failed, and that trade down. Makes sense. Makes sense. How we at now is key. ES right into its initial balance low. So ES is trading down here right now, folks. Understand what we're doing. Nvidia's hovering at its VWAP. It's traded under VWAP. Did it sweep that liquidity? No. So Nvidia still has more of a move down. So if we push up here and we fail value, we fail 20s, we might rotate back down here. If we reclaim 20s at this point, then this can be the bear trap underneath these swing lows. Right. So this level here is key. If we reclaim this, this is possible. If we build out liquidity into this and fail, this is possible. This is your over under now in this session. 20s basically. It's a nice short if you took that. Even here, bit of hesitation on my part, I'd say today on the short side. Right, back to Globex, back at VWAP. You want to see a push back up and a retest of sort of around that 20 area. Don't really want to get short down here. You're asking for trouble. We're back to that session open as well. What's session open? Right here, right? New York Open. Is it at Globex? Well, I can't see it. It's the 930 bar. Oh, it's all the way down here. That's 50s. That's completely wrong on Ninja for some reason. Oh, it's that bar, that's why. Okay. All right, there's your initial balance sweep on the ES. What we do now will be key, folks. What we do now will be key. If they start recovering it, this would be the fail breakout. If we get follow through here, you know what you're looking for. Back into where we found a bid this morning on NQ. Resting liquidity at 70s here. There you go, big sell through it. Can we get down to that New York Open? Shame we never retested, NQ being a bit of a pain. So buy is definitely stuck at this point. Zoom out higher time frame, see what we're looking at. It's possible we come and retest that previous week value area low right down here. We'd like pops to get there though, wouldn't we? Ideally, we would love some pops to get there. We don't just want straight selling, but this is just typical of NQ at the moment. Divergence, 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 sell. Divergence, 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 buy. It's so like directional without building structure for us to nicely play off. This is where we bid off this morning. Do not forget that. This is where we bid off this morning. Under here, it can get either a trap can happen under here, or follow through can happen under here to previous day value area high. And that would be gap fill as well. NVIDIA trying to reclaim VWAP here. So we're due some relief, ideally, and then we can see if it offers a resell or a reclaim. That was big volume. It's biggest volume on the day there. Still inside initial balance. Remember that, folks. We are still inside initial balance. We've traded back down to that opening 5-minute candle. Man, are you not going to pop any further for us to get involved? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. This is not fair. This is not fair. I want to be involved in this. What an absolute bugger. What a bugger. Need some relief so I can fade it. It doesn't look like it's going to give any right now. We're looking for sort of the cup to fill now, and we need some relief. We need some liquidity built out to fade it into here. If we take that, then the low-hanging fruit's gone, and then I don't know what I can trade at that point. It's going to do everything without me. It's going to take value. It wants to take value out. That's what it feels like to me. Bids down at 50s right now, which is right at previous week value area high, right at the New York Open, right at the initial balance low. So finally getting some relief. Can we pop up towards VWAP or even through that? NVIDIA has now swept some liquidity. You want to be careful here if NVIDIA starts reclaiming on power. VIX had a big swipe and just got dunked on. And ES is trading back towards its IBL. All right, you will need to see ES not get acceptance back inside initial balance. If ES gets acceptance back inside of initial balance, this will be problematic. We will trade back upside. Remember, ES has already taken out this low. It's trading underneath this low. It's going to backtest this low. All right, it needs to stay heavy versus that low. If it doesn't, then the squeeze is on. We are in an initial balance rotational day. So here's the build out of the shoulder, or don't really need to call it shoulder, you can call it a handle, whatever. You need to see this drive up fail. If this drive up does not fail, we are going to be a bit like last week, where we just rotate really fast, really quickly. Remember last week we did these big dunks and then the big recoveries, and that was just big rotation over and over and over again. It hasn't quite retested initial balance yet. Here's their continuation here. Remember, bears will need a breakdown of the current low of that 62 now. Failing to do that will cause a squeeze back up towards that lower time from algo in this area here. Bears will want this breakdown. It can easily have a second leg up. They will want short versus this, probably. Obviously, I can't draw right now. Here and here. All right, they want a breakdown under here. So something like this to come down. If they protect this low, ES has come under it and reclaims it, you want to be really careful. That will be the divergence playing out for the millionth time in the last, I'd say in the last month now. It's getting so long. So sellers are at 80s, 85s, 90s, and 95s here. Buyers are at 65 and 50s. Yes, trying to retest the IB. It's not there yet. Watching if they reclaim IB and NVIDIA reclaims VWAP. been big trouble. VIX is still selling off here. It got absolutely dunked on that push. This just feels a bit like last week. We talked about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday last week. Just felt like options were taking complete control of the market because we lacked structure. That's a bit like this and a bit like what you're seeing on the VIX. It's kind of gross. I think we talked about it on Friday. You don't want to see the whippy action on the VIX that we're seeing. You want to see like sustained bids or sustained sell pressure rather than this like back and forth and back and forth. I mean, we just swiped from 1583 to 1613, taking out that pivot at 1605, and we traded straight back down to 1590. That is not healthy to see if you're a trend trader. It's really unhealthy to see that. And here we go. So ES reclaiming initial balance here. This will be problematic if they close inside here. All the shorts at the lows will get trapped. We'll squeeze all the way back up until they find an offer from sellers. 95s here. VWAP here and Globex. VWAP and Globex up here. They will need to see this sell through. The sellers will need to see some form of downside pressure here. If they don't get it, they're going to get stuck. What are we doing? Why do I think you're going to squeeze all the way back up to highs today like you did last week, NQ? Why do I think that? What a pain to trade, man. It's just so quick once it makes a decision without structure. All right, let's see. Here's Globex, here's VWAP. This is a little bit no man's land, right in the middle of the opening range. ES is reclaimed initial balance. So we're not technically in an auction day. We're technically in a failed auction day. And the VIX looks about as bad as I've ever seen it right now. That failed breakout doesn't give me confidence to reshort this. Unless they find a bid here. Unless they find a bid here on the VIX, I think the market can potentially squeeze higher. Much rather we come and take out initial balance low on NQ so we can get some form of lineup of liquidity. Come on. Calm down and sell through. Don't stop here at 80s. Where's the liquidity? 70, 65, 50s. If they base here at 80s, it will be a problem for sellers. Want to see follow through to the downside. Want to see follow through to the downside here. Nice. This is looking better now for low of day. So this looks like the handle now. Can we see some structure and follow through? Looking to take out previous week value area high and then hold runners for lower. I've got one eye on ES. Don't like what ES is doing. Look at that structure on a 5-minute on ES. Very risky. Very, very, very risky here. What do you mean chart? You're on the chart. End of quarter whippiness. I mean, yeah and no. We've already moved contracts, so that's why I'm kind of surprised that they're doing this on the new contract. Remember, every quarterly, weekly contract, etc., is on a new contract. We're already trading month ahead, so it's somewhat odd to me. I thought once we get into the new contract, we'd have sorted this out a little bit. Okay, see if we can take out previous week value area high here. Downside pressure coming. Can we see some follow through, please? Getting frustrated at this point at how we don't build out, and then if we can't get follow through here, it's going to be awful. Again, the problem is ES has taken all the liquidity. NQ's left it all. ES has taken it all. So ES left those highs, traded down. NQ has taken the lows, ES has taken lows, NQ hasn't taken lows. It's just, it's messy, man. Messy, messy, messy. I want to see us trade lower at this point. We're looking for this to trade lower. This is literally how I built it out. All right, we need to see this taken. The problem is ES has taken this, right? Cannot explain this enough to you guys. We've already taken this. If ES bids back in here, this will be a failed auction down here and it will trade up to here. And then NQ will go rippy rippy and it will just ruin the trade. So we need ES to reject this level and come lower at this point. You're taking this short. This is your target down here. You got short versus VWAP or lower time from algo or flow zones, wherever you took. Yeah, Bill, we were long all morning. Long all morning, Bill. For the squeeze up. We had 2 wins and 1 loss. Here we go. Come on, break down and follow through now. No more bids. Let it go. ES rejecting initial balance. We need to take out these internal lows on NQ, get down to value area high. Previous week value area high. NVIDIA selling off here as well, folks, into its opening 5-minute candle, which was straight up, by the way. ES does not want to participate lower right now, making it very hard. Come on, market. Come on. Get your ass down. There we go. Now I want to attack these lows now. Bids at 50 and 45. Let's see if there's anything below that. Not really that much. Need to think about H1 levels. If we drift below that, maybe we can test 800s again today, which was the key letter from key number on the newsletter. It's mad how many times NVIDIA's got up to those highs and sold. Absolutely mental. Thought today was the day. Nice gap up, leaving the sellers stuck, and still couldn't do it. We're dithering around down here. It's a bit of a concern. We should be snapping New York low, and we are not. And NVIDIA is starting to find a bid off that 5-minute imbalance. We want to see follow through downside. All we've got to see is follow through downside. It's not happening right now. We've left equal lows down there at 62s. We need to sell under those, come straight down towards 50s, partial into 50s, and then, you know, if it wants to puke, it would be fantastic. Come on, come on, come on. Why so hard, man, on NQ? Why? It's a terrible trader at the moment. It is a terrible trader. Saying to my buddy at the weekend, I feel exhausted this year. I feel like the brain power to trade this year has been more than any other year I've traded. Come on, just snap it. Go, go, go. Is that a tease again without sweeping? Did you sweep by a whole fucking tick there? Are you kidding me? A 1-tick sweep of this low. Come on. Are you kidding me, NQ? Get your ass down. Not looking good here. NVIDIA's going to backtest VWAP. If NVIDIA reclaims VWAP, I'm not taking any more shorts on NQ. If NVIDIA stays heavy, then I'll stay short on NQ. Come on. More of a sweep than that. Come on, for God's sake. Retest 50. He's just sat there at 50. Go and retest him. I'm a bit concerned there's going to be a swipe up here soon if they don't get the move. I don't want to get run over on a swipe. Get down. Get down. That's a whole nother tick there. Can we do a bit more than a tick? Maybe like 10 points. Thank you. All right. Looking for break of previous week value area high. You can cover some into this area. But I want to see a breakdown underneath previous week value area high, underneath initial balance, underneath previous week open. Still technically in a range day here, folks. All right, we've not once tested outside of initial balance in NQ yet, so just be aware of that. This will be a cover point down here. It will be a cover point. H1, 850s, 813s, 824s. Where's that flow zone on the H1? 831s. Come on. It's literally dripping. So this is why the shorts are so hard, because there's a higher time frame pullback. So it's way, way, way harder. We've had no relief really since this fail up here. It's been straight down. This was a small amount of relief. Just looking for that trade into value area high and initial balance, and if we fail that, we can think about lower. Building out lots of volume here now. Huge amount of volume. If they're here too much longer, POC would move to 77s. I need to use the bathroom here. Be right back. Oh my gosh, should we just tap it? Pretty much. No acceptance. I don't like the way they're building liquidity here. They're opening up to a squeeze here because they are not getting a big snap down underneath. They can squeeze all the way back up to VWAP here because of how they've built a lack of structure. This is horrible when you see this do this. This is horrible. It's very much open to taking this and then moving lower later at the moment. The way they're building this out is very, very dangerous. Love to see a snap. You can see all the buyers down at 15.45. I'd like to just trade all the way through all of this and really start to get heavy and retest 800s. That would be glorious if they'd just be willing to do it. Retesting previous week value area high. Remember, it's a big over-under. We bid off here this morning. Want to see failure through here, failure through initial balance, and to trade lower. And we can build out structure under here for a trade all the way down to the 800s would be ideal. If they keep bidding off here, you need to be aware that the way they've built this liquidity here is very, very, very dangerous. Do not be surprised to see them swipe everyone out. This is the key level. Under here, we can trade down to this block. Nice. There's the acceptance. Now lower. Okay, so how we operate here, key. You're either going failed auction or auction. We've just swept that H1 levels. Next level we'll be looking at is 23s and then 15s. 23s and then 15s. And it's annoying that we couldn't sweep those highs up here first. Leaving this here was a bit of a shame. Had we done this, I would have felt way more confident to get short in there. But how many times do we say this on NQ at the moment, how it's leaving stuff? All right, so you hit TPs here, folks. You should be covering some here. This is your TP. This is just nothing more than a range day. Here's your range. They might come and sweep these guys out before having another attempt lower. But previous week value, holding for now. This area here, this is key. On a higher time frame, this is key. On an hourly, it's also key. On every time frame, on a 5 minute, this is your 200. So many reasons to cover here. If we get acceptance under, it would be great, but I think we need to see one more drive back up after the way they've built out this liquidity, or lack of building out the liquidity, I should say. And I'd say there are no shorts over 900. Any reclaim of this kind of level here, I'd be like, I wouldn't be shorting up here unless they sweep and fail back inside. Then you can, but I'd be very concerned about this because they left this and they left this. VIX looks terrible, folks. Failed 16s. Failed above 16s. VIX needs to find a bid if you're going to see follow through downside today. Remember, higher time frame is just a pullback. I want to make that really, really, really clear. This is just a pullback, higher time frame. They can find bids here. 20 minutes left to lunch. We're going to do that giveaway end of the day. Want to be careful here. It is just a pullback. It is not more than that right now. That's so gross how they did that. How annoying. High, 9 o'clock. Yeah, ES was so much better. Surprise, surprise. Just in terms of structural. You should have covered some. You can be runners only here and waiting for a reload. If they get heavy here, it'd be fun. But I'd like to see a bit more of a drive up first than that. This is 5 minute. Yeah, been fairly efficient how they've done this. Not left any imbalances until we get up here in this thin volume. This is the level. Right, do they protect this? If not, they trade into thin volume. Do they protect this? And then at that point, leave these buyers trapped up high. Toe in the water short, Foster Scott. Yeah, well, you're under IB. You're trading ES. You're under IB, so you've got something to risk off, which is good. And you've got PDH to aim for. 704s, and then a gap fill will be, what, 96s? 696 for you. I want to see us trade up and set another lower high up here somewhere. I want to see us sweep out on the NQ. I want to see us sweep out some of this first and then trade, and then an extension would be nice. I want to be very, very aware that a rotation play can come to VWAP and VWAP, and any reclaim of this, we're going back to the highs. And this reminds me of last week. Fail, 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 fail. Big move, V-shaped recovery. So I just want to be very aware of that, because last week, if we go back, big dunk, V-shaped recovery. Well, not quite as V. Big dunk, V-shape. Big dunk, V-shape. So I'm just slightly aware of that. That just feels like options to me when I see that. This options trading. We're above the 800. So technically, higher time frames remaining bullish here. This is nothing more than a pullback. Like if we look at the H1, one thing I'm aware of, look at the H1. This is just a pullback. Range. This can just be a pullback to go higher. So I'm just aware of that. Yeah, on it. So on the nice thing is on ES that you swept some liquidity. So if we look at the structural difference on ES today, this was really nice. You took out highs up here, returned down. This is your supply. You created this bear flag, and then this micro bear flag and a sell. So you were always in a sell today on ES, whereas NQ failed to take out some key liquidity above, was in a grind up situation. And if we think about pivots, this low created this high, and then we failed, and then we built out all this liquidity here. All I was looking for is a sweep. If we swept and then offered that, it would have been perfect, but it didn't. So I didn't get in early, so I had to get in down here. Right, here's the start of this squeeze where we're going to start cleaning out some of this liquidity. I want to see how we trade into 880s and sort of 900s. Yes, coming back for that initial balance. So we've had a failed auction so far on NQ. Nvidia comfortably below VWAP, possibly building out a bear flag. I still want to see it back test VWAP on Nvidia. I want to see ES sort of back test initial balance. I want to see all these things happen and those stay heavy, because technically NQ can bid right back up now. It swept lower day. Let me see where Globex was. We have left all those London and Asia. We'll come back for that later in the week. But we swept that New York Open, this print down here. We can afford some relief upside before it trades lower, if it wants to trade lower into those 720s. But it's not leaving many imbalance. The way this has moved since... See, this was nice and fast on the tape. Annoying, but it was fast on the tape. Here is very tight. All right, can easily do this. So I'm just trying to be patient here. I can show you my scorecard. I'm in big on some evals here, so there you go. These are like big 250Ks. They're not. It's not real money, those ones. Don't worry about it. Doesn't. So I don't really talk about it. It doesn't really matter. All right. Previous week value area high still holding up. I'm probably just going to leave them as backup if I pass them. Won't even pay for them. Just leave them there. '70s, '90s. What's that 90 level? Yeah, exactly, Simon. So much money, isn't it? So much money. Yeah, I mean, I get caught in two minds of like, do I do that or do I just stick to the 50k and base hits? And like, it's hard, and it's hard to like mentally go and do it. Whereas I comfortably take money out from the 50ks, and then I get in my head, I'm like, am I just getting ego orientated? If I can take 5 figures out every single month from the 50ks, which I've done every month this year, why the need to size up? But then I'm like, well, you should be pushing yourself as a trader. You should be trying. But it gets really hard on those because you size up, and the RR is way harder on those than the 50k and the 25k. Way, way, way harder. Nvidia trying to claw its way back to VWAP right now. We're having one more dig in towards this previous week value area high and initial balance. If they don't break down here, then sellers will get trapped down here, and then we'll probably see a squeeze. So this is the key level. So they're rebidding off previous week value area high. You can see this level here. Remember, this is a higher time frame level. Buyers do not want it to come under here. Buyers want to keep it above here. Weekly buyers trying to keep it above here. If we fail that, we can trade back down to... Is that right? Is previous day there? I think I might have moved that. I think I've accidentally moved that. Let me check. Yeah, previous day is down at 4734. 24,730. I think I've dragged that accidentally. That is down here, I think. Can someone confirm that for me? I think that's right. I think I've accidentally dragged that. Okay, still trading here at the initial balance low, previous week value area high. We did do an internal sweep now. Up here, there's a little internal sweep. Let's see if they trade lower at this point. They have the ability to trade lower at this point if they want. An awful lot of faffing around down here from NQ, as per usual. Come on. See that expansion. Come on, NQ. Big candle, please. Thank you. Here we go. All right, see if we can get down towards the next targets. Thank you, NQ. Jesus Christ, you took long enough to do it. All right, so next targets. If we see a continued auction, I'm looking at some H1 levels. 823, 813, and then into this block. All right, if we reclaim, then we've already done the damage, and that will be a failed auction. That just got me paid. I am now due a payout, which is fantastic, on FTMO. So it would be my first one. See if we can get an update here. How do I get to it? Counts. I think it updates live, right? Maybe not. I thought it updated live. So I'm currently up 2,758 after 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So I've got to do one more day's trading on funded ticks. Funding ticks, that's what it is. Funding ticks. So I'll do another day's trading tomorrow. That account cost me, I think, $35, and I'll be able to take $1,000 out of it. Pretty cool. Good. That was good RR on those. I'd better hurry up and pass the other ones. I can mark these H1. Let's mark everything out. So we've got it marked out. This level here. So you guys can see it. This is London. All right, there's an H1 level. Yeah, that's London. And then Asia's underneath. So we're targeting London at the moment. It's the first level we're targeting if we can get follow through. Just be aware, ES is coming back down into previous day high. It might find a bid here soon. And we're looking to see if we can get a trend expansion down to those London lows. Pretty please. Oh yeah, I said it wrong. It's funding ticks. It's because on my thing it says FT, so I just think of that, but it's FT Pro. So FT Pro Plus. Yeah, it's my bad. I just said it wrong. All right, we'll do this giveaway in 7 minutes. Can we see continuation? So your auction, and right now you're looking at auction lower. Come and clean up London. And if they find bids and reclaim initial balance and previous week value area high, then you would be in a failed auction and I would not be looking for any more shorts at that point. The way they've built out liquidity here is pretty gross, folks. It's pretty gross, so it wouldn't surprise me to see a squeeze in the afternoon to come and clean some of it up. Pretty insane, NVIDIA. Pretty insane. How many attempts is it going to have up there and fail? It's banging on the door. So trading back downside now, NVIDIA. Nice bear flag breakdown. It's right into its opening 5-minute candle, though, which was a big buy candle. So probably soon it's going to find a bid, I would say, on NVIDIA unless something changes. Yeah, I was trying to find it for you. I thought funding ticks updated intraday. Well, it's updated my profit factor. So I can show you, but it hasn't updated anything else. How can I'll make this smaller. So you can see it's on a live account or funded account, whatever they call it. So currently 2,758 up. Start date was on the 24th, so only a few days ago. And there you go, just moving up nicely. This will be my 4th winning day. So I think I've got to do one more winning day and I can take $1,000 out. So I'm shooting quite high on this. Where's my win rate? And scalping this one out because it doesn't have a trailing drawdown. There you go, 87.1% win rate. Pretty good. I'll take it. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really talked about them much. I want to get the payout from them before I like actively say they're good. I want to make sure they pay out properly and stuff. All right, still trading into previous week value area high and initial balance low. We have not reclaimed it on the NQ yet. All right, we have not reclaimed it on the NQ yet. So technically you're in a trend day lower possibility, although I'd say it could probably do with some relief at some point in this market. But at the moment, it's just constant drip lower. I wouldn't say aggressive yet, but we're coming down towards those London levels that we've talked about. It is being walked down, though. I would not say there's any panic in here. This is a nice clean. When you're short, right? These are nice clean moves. This is just absolutely walked down. It's always boring when it does this, but this is your target down here, and then down here, and then down here. If it does any reclaim of this, you want to be careful if you get tapering like this. then you're open to this reclaim and a retest of this level here, because this is where we're thin. Right? So you need it to protect, I'd say, 70s. So I can draw that in for you to make it make sense. You'd want this volume shelf right here to stay heavy. A reclaim of that will offer a reprice in here. Yeah, very high win rate on that one. I mean, that's very high for me. That's an extra 10% plus more than normal. But I've been using NQ for that one because I don't need to worry about trading drawdown. So I can, like, you know, get in, get my money, get out, get in, get my money, get out, over and over and over again. Now I'm past the buffer, I can start scaling more. It's the other thing that's quite nice about the FT accounts, funding tick accounts. Your target is only 2,500, not the 3,000 that you have everywhere else. But you do only have $2,000 of drawdown, but it is end of day, so it's just trading a different way. But I thought, you know what? It was so cheap, I couldn't not give it a go. At the time, they were $30, so give it a go. And I've turned that $30 into $1,000. So now I can go and buy some more, and I'm in the money. And that's how I like to trade. If you've watched my, you know, any of my videos on Apex, get your payouts before you scale. All right. Now I've got those payouts. I think it's now $80 an account. Or I can go and buy, I don't know how many accounts you're allowed, maybe 2 more. So I can go and buy 2 more accounts there. Maybe I'll go and buy a couple of accounts somewhere else. And I'm using house money, my house money, money I've already made. Yeah, totally, Czar. I agree. It's been lackluster. Oh my God! I've just seen the swing account. Have you looked at pay? Oh my God, PayPal. That's my swing account annoys me way more than day trading. Swing accounts where I make a real good chunk of gains on the year. Oh, I'm gonna have to wait now. You absolute shite. Oh my God, man. Oh, I said it was a good buy. All right, I'm going to have to wait for a breakout and rebase now. So are you, Coop, and everyone else in Discord who's playing this with me. We're going to have to wait for this now. Recovery. Yeah, I know about the inactivity. Like 7 days, isn't it, Hal? So stupid, that. What a trend. What a trend. How do I do this? This was yesterday. I don't know if you can even see that. Make it smaller. Yesterday. Swing long. PayPal, Lulu, Etsy. Didn't get picked up on one of them. Not one of them. Not one of them. Oh my days. How to annoy Alex. Don't fill him on limit swings. It's probably the thing that annoys me the most. It's happened all year long. NQ back to 25k. That's what you want, day trader. I mean, it's not that far away to do it. But I think the market's still in a decision-making process right now. We're still failing previous week value area high. We're now, if we keep failing down here, we're going to trade into London. We're going to trade into last week's range. Okay, we get thin in last week when we trade into 780s. That 800 level's key. Straight out the newsletter, it's key. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm still quietly accumulating under, like, been adding under threes there quietly, Foster Scott. We'll see, but I mean, I'm going to hold that for, you know, an indefinite amount of time. Okay, still selling off here. Nvidia retesting its current sort of, I don't know if you call it a swing low, but like its 5-minute bar. And if it gets expansion under here, we might be able to get to London. We're running out of time. Oh, we're into lunch. I was about to say we're running out of time. We're coming up to lunch. We're already in lunch. All right, the day's done. Finito, gonzo. We're done, folks. We're done here. Let's give away this Apex account then. Just want to just see how this bar forms here, and then we do this account giveaway. Watching Nvidia here. Just want to see if Nvidia slides here and if we're going to go for Apex. We've left that double bottom there at 30s. Kind of want to see that just get wrecked. Close to follow through here on NQ. You know, I've got to take out this low here. Here you go. Come on. Trade through it. Stop fanning. Can we get to London? Trade through it. Trade through it. Trade through 30. Trade through 30. Trade through 30. I'm commanding you to trade through 30 now. Right now, NQ. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, London coming up here, folks. Sorry, I just had to hold on just because I thought we were going to form this here. All right, you can have some covers in here. You're getting close. The start of that H1 is 23s, so feel free to cover some here. 23s, and then the edge of this, the bottom of this block, 13s. All right, I'm going to set up this giveaway for you all now. Thank you, everyone who joined the stream today and hit the like. I know it was a bit frustrating this morning. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It took bloody ages, didn't it? But we got the longs up. So we were 3 for 4 today. So we were long, 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 fail, and shorts. All right, not bad. 3 out of 4, 75% win rate, and it's pretty good. Pretty darn good. Alex, can you get NQ to take it back with an AI voice? Can you get NQ to talk back with an to talk back to me? What would its AI voice be? What does NQ sound like, do you think? I think NQ's like a valley girl from LA. I reckon it's a valley girl from LA. Oh my god. No, I don't want to do it. Oh my god. That's what I think NQ sounds like, because it's a fucking pain. Oh my god, I want to take all your money. Buy me a drink. I want some new go tissues. So hopefully there's no Valley girls watching this. Although I doubt that many Valley girls trade. Get myself in trouble here. What am I doing here? What am I doing here, folks? Giveaway. Okay. I sound Asian. No, that's a Valley girl. Right? Oh my god. That's a Valley girl all day long. Leave my impression alone. Nightbot. That's it. Brain fog. Couldn't think what I was doing. We love you long time. I love that one. I used to have that as my text when I was back at university, I think it was. Right, giveaways. All right, you know the score by now. For all of your prop firms, other than Take Profit, for Take Profit, you type Flow Zone. But for everywhere else, FCT will always get you the best possible price. Type it in chat now. We're going to do a giveaway for Apex, all right? We're going to do a giveaway for Apex. So FCT, lowercase, one time. Actually, don't think it matters about the case. Just type it in once. We're doing Apex giveaway here. Thanks for joining today, team. Still dripping down here. You are dripping down in this channel, folks. If you're short, you're okay to hold on. It's Not making it the most pleasant, I will be honest with you. This is very, very, very controlled selling. Whenever I see this, I am very, very aware that we're probably going to come back for a squeeze. It doesn't have to be today. We've had days and days where we've done this. And then the next day we do something like this. All right, so if we don't sweep this today, I'm very aware of it later in the week. So far, you're in a nice channel down situation here, folks. I'll just let a few of you catch up here. Still breaking down. We're coming for those London lows. Remember that first H1 London low is at 22, folks. So if you can get that, don't be scared to take some now. Don't be a dick for a tick, like take some money. But if you get 22s fails, it should get you down to these 13s, and then you're going to be inside of the Asia range. Remember, now you're trading inside of previous week value. Right? I'm going to do this giveaway while you're all doing it, but I want you to understand higher time frame is very, very important. You're trading into this high volume cluster here. Bulls will want to defend this. If they fail to defend it, you will trade into here. 800 is the edge of this, or 790. This is why in the newsletter we talked about the importance of 800, 800, 800. We're coming back to test 800-ish. All right, they bid off this, we go back to highs. They fail that, we test the next cluster, 700, and we trade 640s. Okay, every level, just think of it as an under, over, under, over, under, over. That's all you're doing. All right, let's do this giveaway. How many of you did it? We filled it all up. I'm going to give you 20 more seconds in case anyone's just joining, and then we're going to pull that winner. All right, pull in the winner now, folks. Let's see who's won this today. All right, new winner. Not seen this name in chat before. GB. GB. Are you here, GB? Let yourself be known, please, if you're here. GB, you've just won it. Let me know you're here, GB. I'm going to give you a minute to make yourself known in chat. If you're not here, we're going to do a re-roll. All right, you're starting to see this squeeze now, folks. Like I talked about, when you see controlled selling, be very, very careful. When already back above previous week value area high, if we bid above this now and build liquidity, we can very easily come and squeeze out all these sellers. Remember, sellers were trying to walk it down. This opens itself up to a squeeze like we just talked about. Literally just talked about this. GB, are you in chat? We're going to give you a couple more seconds. We're going to give you 20 more seconds to make yourself known. You need to message in chat if you're here, GB. You need to let me know that you're here. If you're not here, we're going to re-roll. GB, you're here. Yeah. Okay. Good work. All right, GB. All you got to do is you email me info@flowzonetrader.com, or if you prefer, you can do it on, hit me up direct on Instagram or Twitter. All right. But email me is probably the best, info@flowzonetrader.com, and I will sort you out a code. Just send me the back end of your YouTube, all right? I need to see the back end of your YouTube. So you just need to prove to me that you are who you say you are, and I will sort you out, all right? Everyone else, I'm going to be back tomorrow. Do me a favor, okay? If you're not already, make sure you're liked and subscribed and turn that bell on. I'm here every morning, Monday to Friday. We get nice trades when they set up, and I try and keep you out of the market when they don't. And And give me a follow on X and Instagram at Flowzone Trader. I'm always posting stuff on there. Sometimes you'll see me post trades when I'm not live streaming, what I'm looking at, what I think is going to happen. Let's get through this chat here. I've passed the Apex eval Friday that I won here this month. Thank you, Apex. Yeah, nice, Rico. That's awesome. So free account, you get it passed. If you get that to pay out, that is your best risk reward you can get, right? You get a free account, you get to pay out. What an absolute beauty that is. What an absolute beauty that is when that happens. All right, I'm going to leave you with this afternoon so you understand what's going on. We are potentially in a squeeze out of this channel now, all right? Learn to see the liquidity. When you see it being walked like this is what I would call controlled selling, all right? All we're doing is giving a little dip under a key level into a key level. If we then go the other way and we find buyers here, they can start ripping faces of these controlled sellers because some of these sellers would have come in a bit late in the day. Where would I be looking here? All right, if I'm going to trade upside, the easiest way to trade upside now, unfortunately, we haven't taken out this low. That will be, it would be much nicer if we took this out and then came back the other way. If we continue to bid off here or hold an imbalance, there's a squeeze. You'd be watching for trades through 69s, I'd say sort of these 75s, but the main area is the edge of this. Let me clean this up. The main area is the edge of this volume. You've got a high volume node here. Sellers will try and protect that. If sellers fail to protect that, all right, if you get back above here, if sellers fail to protect this, you can very easily revisit this. Why? Because this is an SBR. This is a fresh level. Have we tested this since we broke down yet? No. So if we get through this, it is likely to test that. If we get through that, then you can see what you've built out liquidity-wise for new highs, all right? Until then, I would stay fairly neutral. You're into lunch now, so if we sell versus this, you're retesting this, especially if this hasn't been taken. If we reclaim this, you're potentially long, all right? You are in a rotation day. Here's your IB high, here's your IB low. Failed auction so far, reclaiming, where do we like to go? VWAPs. Failed IB high, where do we like to go? VWAP, VWAP. Back tested, IB low. Reclaim IB low, VWAP, VWAP. Reclaim, IB high, possible. What do you do with Apex trailing drawdown? I lost so many accounts because of this. I've got tons of videos on my YouTube for that, my FX. Tons and tons and tons and tons of videos on that on my YouTube. There's basically two ways to deal with it. It's very, very easy. You either size down. Most people trading Apex are oversized, all right? So if you're using, I don't know, if you're trading a 50K account and you are using minis, you are probably already oversized, all right? Because you're not going to give yourself enough space to let winners run, okay? So that would be the first one. And the second thing I'd say is you need to use trailing stops, all right? You need to use stops where you're stopping out in the money, you're protecting your profit. You need to be in scalp mode in Apex until you are well past the trailing drawdown. Once you're past the trailing drawdown, you can forget about it. So I'd say, you got to pass the accounts and then spend, 10 to 20 days to get past the trailing drawdown. And once you're past that, you just trade them normally. All right, there's tons of videos on my YouTube. Go and check them out. All right, everyone, we'll be back same time tomorrow. You can see we're about to revisit this high volume node that I talked about. So that squeeze happening. And we'll go again, right? We go again tomorrow, same thing. We'll be looking for weekly model tomorrow. And I doubt I'm going to trade the rest of the day. Having a look at this right now, I think we're in internal range. I'm less interested. And we'll see what's what. All right, peace and love, everyone. Please trade safe this afternoon if you're going to hang around. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9:15 New York time. Take care.